Did you all go see the big film? Statistically speaking, you probably did. But that's it now. 22 films and 11 series. It was good while it lasted. I mean, there is that new Marvel film out next month, but that's a month away. Well, might I suggest checking out Valor's Kids, which is a film, not someone's kids. Please don't check out any kids. Released in 2011 and written, directed and animated by Kai Mariah, Valor's Kids follows the adventures of Valor, who must be sweltering in that coat. Long ago there were wizard wars which killed all the wizards, and now there's no magic anymore, so Valor is looking for an ancient wizard staff, but unfortunately a rock spirit shows up and has other ideas.
Oh, great. You served your purpose with honor.
He then walks for a good long while, and then he gets a horse and then continues until getting into another fight.
How are you doing, Ashlyn?
It's good to see you again, friend. Junior Rangers, this is Valor. He used to be a ranger before he ran off with his wife. Where is Maria?
Students, back to your training at once.
What's wrong, Valor?
I'm sorry, Ashlyn. You were not informed of Maria's passing.
Ah, damnation.
A young man named Clat is impressed by Valor's combat skills, but his mate rolls his eyes and tells him to stick to raking grass. Tired of raking, Clat sneaks off during the night using his cunning.
Identify yourself.
Junior Ranger Clat.
State your purpose.
Nightwalk.
Proceed.
Clat wants to join Valor and... hang on. That's just a road sign. They must have a good blacksmith living around here, huh? Who does your gutters? Valor mourns for his wife, and Clat also mourns for whoever, and they hug it out, dissolve, and become friends. A happy ending. Until...
Valor!
Out of the way, boy! I'm only aiming at one of you, but I have plenty of arrows.
Why have you attacked us?
Yes, you're very brave. Move! Brave, I said, boy. But you are lacking intelligence at the moment. Don't meddle in affairs that aren't your own. How fast are you, boy? And how would you like to find out?
Luckily, Valor takes down this jerk with what seems to be a sonic spin dash and saves Clat before we get the twist of the century.
Another time then, brother. I'll find you again.
Back at the monastery, Clat recovers thanks to an extremely comfortable pillow before hitting Valor with the tough questions.
Why are you glowing?
It's nothing. It only glows because I'm close to the sacred longbow of lore. It glows around magic.
You know magic?
Not really. No. Look. I'm gonna go get some more tea.
Here, I appreciate the tea offer, but I'm sorry, I'm really going to have to press you on this glowing that... No? Alright. The head monk tells Clat that Valor is gathering magical weapons for an upcoming war. Clat wants to hear more, but the head monk's sleeves want to go, so they call it a night. He decides to sneak off during the night again, but this time steals a magic bow first, so everyone gives him the Klingon shun turn.
I just wonder why the king's chief advisor would try to kill me in the forest.
He attacked you?
Yes.
That doesn't make any sense. You sure it was Crawl?
Unless you know someone else who fits the description, it was Crawl.
Just doesn't make any sense.
Valor's friend Ash is upset Valor didn't come talk to him when Valor's wife died, so he tries to kill Valor.
Why? Why didn't you tell me? Why wouldn't you let me help you?
I'm sorry.
Where's your parents, kid?
They're dead.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
I have no money.
That's okay. I
just need a hand.
You need a hand? With what?
No, you misunderstand. I need a hand.
Oh my gosh!
Unimpressed by the leper's stand-up routine, Clat continues looking for Valor, but instead meets Chana and they bond over a lobster trap.
Sweet. I'm Chana.
My name is Clat.
Clat's a little nervous talking to a girl, so his fingers start to go a bit daft.
I've never been farther north than this river. My training is... I'm sorry, I really have to go. It was nice meeting you. Goodbye.
Chana, wait up. Whoa, neat trick.
So the search for Valor continues, and then...
Scream more.
He's not coming back.
I'm so glad I finally found you.
Clat and Valor then team up and walk for a very long time, which would have been boring if Valor didn't have 12 minutes of non-stop exposition and lore to share. Meanwhile...
May I introduce Master Kral of Kruger, please?
Forgive him, Lord Viper. I asked him to introduce me. It never tires of hearing one's name announced to men of great importance.
I'm a man of great importance to you, Crow.
The bad guys are teaming up. You know what they say, shit sticks together. But don't worry, our heroes are ready for anything.
Will you take the boy back to the monastery? No! Stay back!
They meet Cervantes and Clat offends him with a poorly judged dab, and then, well, I think you should just watch this bit yourselves.
Keep covering yourself and don't try to watch.
Just have to wait till night.
So Clat stays safe hiding in the dirt, but Valor is taken to the baddies.
What is this?
This man attacked us a mile into the march.
One man attacked you?
Yes, sir.
But he probably just got spooked when he saw the men marching. Probably lost in the desert and had gone sun crazy. Just dispose of him and rejoin the march.
Hold that man tight, soldier!
Valor's brother gives him the old les enfants terribles and recounts his tragic backstory of being struck with a gravity-altering arrow which left him blankly stroking a map of Europe for 5 years, which somewhat unexpectedly confirms the Bay of Biscay exists in this universe, and that it was he who killed Valor's wife, like this. But Valor sees the funny side. He gets sent to the dungeon, but Chana does a stealth tactical takedown on the guards and lets him out, and they escape. Meanwhile...
What are you reading? Is that the book of Lore and Cortez? Hey, everything will be okay.
Good evening, child.
It's a little late for you to be out, isn't it?
Whatever. I'm looking for Hutch. Have you seen him?
I like you, kid. You're funny.
Clat returns to the monastery for Brooke, who... I'm not sure what Brooke's deal is, actually. Valor goes to see the king, but the royal family are working with the bad guys. Now there's an unrealistic twist. No? Yeah.
You're a liar.
A liar with a king's trust.
You can't control that!
And so, war looms. The good news is the good guys have as many horses as people, but the bad news is the bad guys have a spring in their step that suggests that this will be an easy victory. Things are getting tense. The threat is rising. The enemies are at the gates. But first...
Sorry, I'm going to have to give you the very quick and very brief version of the history of wizards.
Valor then opens up a giant copy of the Silmarillion Extended Edition and talks about wizards for a good 40 minutes.
This is the short version. Shh.
As interesting as the Valor's Kids wiki is, the bad guys release a giant monster, so we have to move on. And then, the monster, Valor's brother tries to kill him, but then the leper does something and Valor ends up in the Nexus.
My mission to save the future from your past.
It has not changed.
It has, though.
Valor gets to hug his dead wife and she tells him that's plenty, and when he returns to reality, the leper tells him it's all over. But one mystery remains. Did the leper kill Valor's brother?
I didn't kill your brother. I let him go for a prize.
Oh, that is good. Thus concludes the leper's arc from being the worst showman in town to the best. And so the day is saved, not by Valor, but Valor's kids. The end. Oh God. That's terrible. That is terrible. I am genuinely so sorry. I think we should just go to the verdict. Okay, here's the thing. I actually think it's quite beautiful. Kai Mariah started making this film when she was 11, and it took 3.5 years to complete. Regardless of how it looks, that's amazing. She did it. She made a film. It has actors, it has music, it has characters and a story. Not a great story, admittedly, but just think, even at 11 years of age, she still knew not to put something stupid like zombies into a fantasy setting. Imagine. Valor's Kids is a genuine labour of love. And sure, the visuals might not be the best, but they're better than what I was managing at that age. You want to see what my creative output was like? There you go. Call the FBI, tell them to close the case, here's the gunman. The question now is Valor's Kids better than this drawing? I think it is, but I need an outside opinion, so I better call trusted film critic and untrusted skiffle enthusiast Mark Kermode. Hello, Mark. You've now seen Valor's Kids.
No.
What did you think?
Here's the thing. This is an odd one. I mean, on the one hand, it's got one of those sort of screwball caper plots.
Yeah.
And I can't... There are very few times that I have felt completely unable to understand or get a grip on a film.
Okay.
But on the other hand, the BBFC reports that this is PG because it has some mild threat, and I have to say the sort of the lava monster which we see in the sort of second half of the film is definitely, you think that's mild. The balance between, on the one hand, it is a film which is deeply compassionate and touching and funny and affectionate and insightful, and I was in love with it. I just was so swept away by it. And as we move towards the end of the film, and as the film becomes more profound and more to do with aging and also so many other things, I found myself crying. And I don't mean just crying like, but I mean like properly crying.
Same.
It's a work of art. It is a beautiful, beautiful work of art. On the other hand, you have...
All right, Goro, that's plenty.
I have just talked to Father Oscar Hubert of the Holy Trinity Catholic Church. President Kennedy has been assassinated. It's official now. The president is dead.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.